In Part 9, Section 4 of the Vigyan Bhairav text, today we will discuss in detail the topics related to Niralamba Bhavana, supportless contemplation, specifically Karika 82, which deals with Niradhara Vibhavana, supportless visualization while lying down or seated, including the Shiva-Shakti dialogue and the relevant verses.
This specific transmission regarding Niradhara Vibhavana, it literally holds the keys to dissolving the mind completely through pure, unadulterated spatial awareness.
So let's step into this deeply sacred space together. The Vidyan Bhairav isn't just some ancient textbook, it's a highly intimate, direct dialogue. Imagine pure, infinite consciousness, represented here by Lord Shiva, transmitting the ultimate, absolute techniques of liberation directly to dynamic cosmic energy, represented by Mother Shakti. We're incredibly lucky to just bear witness to this profound exchange, sitting in on a transmission that is designed to completely and radically shift our entire perception of reality.
Let's look at Karika 82, the original verse. Here is the authentic, original text right from page 68 of our source material. The verse reads, Asane shayane stitva niradharam vivayan, swadeham manasi kshine, kshanat kshina sho bhavet. Now just listen to the rhythm of that for a second. It's almost hypnotic, isn't it? But beyond the beautiful sound of the Sanskrit, there is a very precise, mechanical instruction perfectly hidden right inside these words.
Let's break this down word by word, because every single term here acts as a stepping stone. Asane literally means while seated. Shayane means while reclining. Sthitva is being positioned. Niradharam, and this is a big one, means without support, being completely unanchored. Vibhavayan refers to the act of intense visualization or contemplation. Then we have Swadeham, which is one's own body, and Manasik Shine, representing the absolute dissolution of the mind. And finally, Kshanat Kinashoyo Bhavet, instantly all of those deeply rooted mental impressions or samskaras are destroyed. So as you can see, the progression moves very deliberately, from a physical posture, straight into a mental visualization, and then ending in a supreme state of total dissolution.
So what does this actually mean in plain English? This simple translation reveals the sheer power of this practice. It says, by visualizing the body as unsupported while seated or reclining, the mind dissolves, and instantly all deeply rooted mental impressions are destroyed. I really want to draw your attention to that bold promise right at the end, in an instant. This text is claiming a miraculous, instantaneous destruction of all your samskaras, your deepest conditioning, if this technique is executed perfectly.
Moving on to the silent mantra and the mystical methodology. Now, there is actually a hidden layer to this practice, what we call a silent mantra. Now, this isn't a mantra you chant out loud with your vocal cords. Not at all. It's the methodology of silence itself. The practitioner uses the natural rhythm of their own breath fading out into empty space, the niralamba, or the supportless void. Think of it like this. You are essentially using the fading out of your own biological rhythm as a sharp blade to sever your mind's attachment to any physical support. You don't just observe the void, you literally become the void.
Next up, the 5 core steps of Niradhara Vibhavana.
Think of this as a highly specific 5-phase journey. Step 1 is simply establishing your physical vessel in a reclining or seated state. Step 2 is where you generate a profound, visceral sensation of weightlessness. Step 3 takes that even further into a feeling of actively floating in the air. Step 4 is the critical threshold. This is the total dissolution of the body concept itself. And finally, Step 5 is the ultimate attainment, the burning away of all samskaras and the realization of supreme peace. Let's actually walk through scene 3 of this cosmic journey together, focusing on those first 2 steps. You begin by sitting in an asana, or you can recline flat on the floor in Shayasana. You close your eyes, you regulate your breath, just slowing everything down. Now, here is where the active visualization actually kicks in. You must intentionally, consciously withdraw your mind's reliance on the physical floor beneath you. You vividly imagine that the gravitational pull of the earth has just completely ceased. You artificially generate this profound, tactile sensation of absolute zero gravity right inside your limbs. As you hold on to that sensation of zero gravity, you seamlessly enter steps 3 and 4. Your mind completely detaches from the earth. You visualize your physical vessel just floating freely in the vastness of the open sky. The boundaries between your skin and the air around you, they start to blur, and then they vanish entirely.
Because the mind suddenly has no physical anchor to attach itself to, the very concept of a body entirely dissolves. At this point, you are no longer flesh and bone. You are pure, uncontained spatial awareness.
All right, Scene 4, Cosmic Mapping and the Macrocosmic View.
This is where the Vedic astrological and astronomical mapping of this practice gets really mind-bending. When you dissolve your physical weight, you aren't just doing some clever little mental trick. Philosophically speaking, you are slipping past the gravitational and karmic boundaries of the planets themselves. You see, astrologically, planets represent karmic poles, powerful influences that constantly tug at us. By becoming totally weightless and supportless, your inner void perfectly mirrors the infinite, unconditioned cosmos. You are quite literally stepping out of the karmic gravity well entirely.
Now let's look at the tantric significance and the philosophical core.
The absolute key word to understand here is kshinashayo. This is step 5. It is the spiritual and religious climax of the entire practice. By systematically removing all physical support from the mind suddenly has nothing left to cling to, and therefore it just collapses. And in that brilliant collapse, all your karmic seeds, all hidden desires, all mental impurities, the samskaras, are utterly incinerated by the sheer friction of entering pure consciousness. You finally realize that true support was never physical matter at all. The only true unbreakable support is pure Shiva consciousness.
Scene 8. How this ties into modern science and supreme Shiva and Shakti.
Consider this absolutely brilliant comparison for a moment. Modern physics talks a lot about the quantum vacuum, this state of absolute zero gravity, a void that is paradoxically just brimming with potential energy. Now look at Tantric science, which thousands of years ago described supreme Shiva Tattva, absolute pure consciousness, an unanchored void from which all creation springs. Sound familiar? By practicing Nirdhara Vibhavana, you are essentially turning your own mind into a quantum vacuum. The inner space and the outer space completely unify.
Let's talk about practical insights and everyday application.
So, why does all of this matter to us right now? The practical significance is actually immense. Think about daily anxiety. Anxiety is really just the mind frantically looking for something to hold on to. It's desperately seeking a support. By consciously practicing this weightlessness, you can instantly neutralize that stress by intentionally dropping all your mental supports. You begin to recognize your body as simply a temporary vehicle floating in space. A truly fantastic way to integrate this is right before you go to sleep. When you're lying in bed, in Shayana, consciously drop the feeling of the mattress beneath you. Dissolve into the space around you. Doing this proves the instant efficacy that was promised right there in Kartika 82.
On behalf of the Vedmata AI family, we humbly request that if you found our presentation enlightening, please share this video widely so that authentic knowledge from Indian Vedic texts can reach the masses. Let us all come together to participate in this Gyan Yajna, sacrificial offering of knowledge. Har Har Maha